15 Things Tourists Should Never Do in Denmark. The Kingdom of Denmark is regarded as one of the happiest countries in the world. With its famous hygge concept, which basically encourages happiness and contentment with the simple things in life, combined with a culture that promotes equality, as well as its strong economy and low crime rate, this Scandinavian country has emerged as one of the safest travel destinations in the world. However, there are several unspoken rules for tourists to follow and respect. Number 1. Don't say Roskilde Festival isn't that nice. If you've ever visited Roskilde Festival, you'll know it is one of the best festivals in Europe. But even if you disagree with this opinion, it is highly recommended to keep your views to yourself. Danes are open-minded and can accept everyone's opinions except when it comes to Roskilde Festival. Everyone in Denmark loves this festival and has memories to share about those 5 days in July, that makes it difficult for them to understand how someone might not think the same. So if you want to make a good impression, and increase your chances of making new Danish friends, start a conversation about Roskilde Festival, and make it clear how much you love it too. Number 2. Never ask, are you really the happiest people in the world? Everyone knows that Denmark has occupied first place on the world's happiness report 3 times, and it has now become known as the happiest nation worldwide. This has raised many questions on how happiness is measured, and if Denmark actually deserves the title. Therefore, foreigners often ask Danes their opinion on the matter, but the answer they can get can only be subjective. There's nothing wrong with asking locals if they believe they live in the happiest nation, except that they'll have heard the question dozens of times. Number 3. Don't forget the hand signals. Whether written or unwritten, the Danes always follow the rules, especially in matters that involve safety. Since biking is very much a part of their daily routine, expect that a system is in place to make this as efficient and safe for everyone. You may not be doing this back where you're from, but when you are riding a bike in the bicycle-filled streets of the city, don't think it's trivial and neglect to signal with your hand if you are turning. Failing to signal disrupts the flow of traffic, and fails to give ample time and space for those behind you to maneuver, which can lead to accidents, so don't take this lightly. Number 4. Don't forget about the 7 and 9. When it comes to superstitions, a lot of countries or cultures have something that is associated with the number 13, either as good or bad luck. However, when you're in Denmark, don't forget the numbers 7 and 9. The Danes would say the 7th of September 2013 or Suni Tretten followed by 3 knocks on wood, corresponding to each number after saying something that they don't want to be jinxed, or affected by bad luck. It is believed that each of these numbers symbolizes good luck, so combining them and reciting them in succession will render a stronger chance of good luck. Number 5. Don't ask how are you to random persons. Forget about making small talk with people that you come across on the street or at a grocery store, for example, by greeting them and asking them how are you. Like in the United States, or other parts of the world where it is considered as just being friendly towards others. In Denmark, as well as the other Scandinavian countries, this is not the norm, and you wouldn't get the response or reaction you're used to. It doesn't make sense to them to be asked how they are, by people who would only walk past them after asking the question, and not even expecting a reply. Number 6. Don't do these at Pusher Street. The dealers along Pusher Street, or the Green Light District, will not appreciate having tourists taking pictures of them and their business, and they do have people that reinforce this rule. Running is also strongly advised against, as this causes panic. You can take out your camera again, and snap all you want once you get past this area, but don't forget to ask the locals permission, if you want to have them included in your photos. Number 7. Don't approach a Dane's dog. For those who like dogs, in case you see Danes taking out their pet for a stroll, no matter how cute or adorable you think their pooch may be, never approach, call, or touch it, as this gesture does not exactly elicit a feeling of pride. Instead, this is also akin to invading their privacy. Aside from this, there's a regulation regarding savaging in the Danish Act on Dogs, that states that the police are obligated to euthanize a dog, if it has savaged a person, or another dog, in an attack. Though the chances of this happening are quite slim, as most breeds that are believed to be dangerous are prohibited in Denmark, the owners are just being responsible, and looking out not just for their pets, but for other people as well. Number 8. Don't force yourself to speak Danish. It's understandable, and even expected, for tourists to know at least a phrase or two of the language of the country they're visiting. Tourists will most often than not learn some, most likely online, prior to their visit. However, the Danish language is a very difficult language to learn due to the pronunciation of its letters, aside from a lot of it not even being enunciated. Number 9. Don't leave too early after dinner. Since the Danes really go out of their way to prepare for their guests when hosting dinners, these occasions tend to run longer than the usual meal. Danes normally don't invite just anyone into their homes, so don't think you're overstaying your welcome and leave too early. Otherwise, you may hurt your host's feelings. Don't leave without offering to help in cleaning up, and don't forget to thank your host, and tell them that you had a good time. Don't forget to say goodbye to the other guests as well. Number 10. Don't do these when invited to their home. The Danes make it a point to maintain the cleanliness of their homes, so if you get invited to one, don't forget to take off your shoes before entering. Also, don't show up to your host's home empty-handed. Always have a little something as a gift or token for the host, such as a bottle of wine, or flowers, or you may call in advance to tell them you're on your way, and ask if they need anything that you can bring. Number 11. Tipping in Denmark. Since Danish law dictates that the service charge be included already in the price or bill at restaurants, hotels, and taxis, for example, you don't need to worry about tipping anymore. This system leads to the prices going higher than usual, and besides, the wages of those working in their service industry are quite fair and competitive, so they don't really rely on tips to augment their income. But, if you feel that you have received service that far exceeds your expectations, or was served a really nice meal, you can still leave a tip to show your appreciation. Number 12. Do not be late. Whether it's for a social or business gathering, do not be late, as the Danes really value punctuality, as well as each other's time. This goes especially true for business meetings, but even for dinners, for example, it's always expected that you arrive at the time advised, or a few minutes early, as being late is not acceptable and is not considered polite. If you cannot avoid getting late, it is best to advise your host that you will be arriving late, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Number 13. Don't do these at the dinner table. When invited over for dinner at Dane's home, don't start eating until the host makes a toast, and says skål. This is the only time you can begin, and make sure that you try everything that the host offers, as they have exerted a lot of effort to prepare the food. Finally, when you're finished, place your knife and fork across your plate with the tines facing up, and the handles turned to the right, and don't forget to offer to help in cleaning up. Number 14. Don't use someone else's travel card. If you have to use the public transportation in Denmark for places that can be challenging to reach using a bicycle, make sure you get a Ridgescore or travel card, and don't try using someone else's, particularly if it's a personal one, as this is linked or connected to a Danish citizen. You may get fined for using it, as each use is documented in a system. The only type of card that visitors can avail of or use is the anonymous type, which is also more expensive. It is quite easy to purchase and can be used right away, just don't forget to tap out or check out at the end of each journey. Number 15. Don't think all Scandinavian countries are the same. Don't think that Denmark is the same with the other Scandinavian countries such as Sweden and Norway. Each country is different, and though they may share some similarities, it will usually end there. If you happen to know a Danish, don't mention to him or her that you have, or used to have a Swedish partner in an attempt to start a conversation, as the two are entirely different, and doesn't have anything to do with each other, aside from being considered a Scandinavian country. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel.